Hey Gabby, how are you? How's it going? Hey Hope, how's it going? Hey Cindy. Hey Pam. Hey Sports Speak. You in Florida yet? Hey Hope. Hey Love, Peace, Joy, how are you? Hey Patricia. Hey Steven. Hey Gigi. Hey John's mom, how's it going? Not a bad day today. Hey Lindell. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Got caught up on a little paperwork and trying to figure out how I'm going to attack Photoshop. Pretty decent day around here. It was kind of rainy, about 33, 34. Could be worse, January. I'm not complaining. I'll definitely be going to Flint and Detroit soon. So hopefully get some of that mild weather down there. Sebring, it's a beautiful town. Amtrak goes through there. Sebring's a nice place. I actually like that section of Florida. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the Amish interview. He's a heck of a nice guy. I'll be out there again. I got, of course, more questions to ask him. Hey, lady, how you doing? I really wasn't planning on going out there. I mean, I wanted to Friday, but they were a little off on the weather forecast, and if it got a degree colder, it would have been a disastrous day, but it didn't. So what I did is I had thought I'm not going to go, and then I was getting my daily coffee at Tim Hortons, and I thought, you know what, I'll give this guy a call. That guy's got a huge business. I was surprised. I mean, a mega business. Just two giant buildings. And when I got there, it was super busy. It was busy the whole time I was there. And, he gets rides to and from his own place of business. So I thought, he kind of nodded when I went in, came up to me a little while later and said, hey, look, I don't want to interrupt any of your business. I knew they closed at 2, so I was there about 45 minutes early. And at 2 o'clock when they closed, he said, come on back in the office. So I got lucky, really, because I think his driver was waiting for him from about 2 when they closed, and we didn't get done with that interview until about 2:30. So I'm thinking I might have taken too long. I could talk to that guy all day long. It was interesting. Hey, let's rock and roll. How are you? So it worked out. And then I went to that farmer's kitchen, and it's also the farmer's creamery. I guess he bought that with some other guys, and had a sandwich. I was going to do a little video on the inside, but I didn't because there were customers in there, and the guy I wanted to talk to wasn't present. So I waited around, had a sandwich. People were still in there, and I thought, well, I'll just do it next time. But it was a good time. I had fun out there. Yeah, we had a good time talking. We had a good time talking last time, actually. I thought it was, thanks, Shogun. I thought it was interesting. I'm going to do this now, no matter what. But this summer, I'm going to take like Jamie, Becky, Ebony. I'm going to take them up there, and we're going to eat at an Amish restaurant. And they're going to get to meet the Amish. If nothing else, it's not going to be any force-fed anything. This could be you. It's going to be, this is how other people live. And I just want you to see it. Because as far as I'm concerned, typical daily life between the Amish and their life is like something I do or you do. I don't expect them to be Amish. Geez, I couldn't do it. But where they're at, I mean, does everyday life seem that daunting when you get exposed to people like the Amish? But the nice thing I think about it is it's just diametrically opposed to their circumstance. Hey, Tweety, how you doing? No, I interviewed an Amish guy today, Tweety, and I think it's going to be great that they get to see this and meet these people, and they get to meet them. I'm doing it for sure. Greek restaurants are in Greektown. Yeah, Gabby, there are some. Greektown's pretty nice in Detroit. Yeah, I know. People think that. That's why I tried to clear up some of those rumors about not paying taxes, that kind of thing. Pakistan, hey Perez, how you doing? Good morning. Hey Samantha. Hey Big Chevy, how you doing? I already have them up, Tweety. I already uploaded them. Parts 1 and part 2. Oh, thanks, Tex, for uplifting. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think it'd be fun, and it's a super interesting area. He's a really friendly guy. It was funny off camera, as we were walking out. He said, "Well, what did you do for a living?" And I told him, "A private detective." And he said, "A private detective?" He said, "Well, what did you detect while you were here?" And I said, "Oh, you're a good guy, man. You get an A+." He said, "Well, thank you. I appreciate it." And then he wanted to know what kind of work I did and that kind of thing. So interesting. I wish I could have spent more time with him. His son's a really nice guy too, but it's a big business he has. Plus, they own a mega dairy farm. If you look on the video I uploaded today, you'll see a farm as I'm driving down the road. It'll be off on the right, big, huge farm up on a hill. And that's his farm as well. I mean, these are big businesses. Oh, good, Cindy. Glad you liked it. Of course, there's always things I wish I would ask, but I'm just not the kind of guy to like. I think it kills an interview if somebody comes up and wants to talk to you and they've got a pad and paper and they're checking the questions off. I mean, yes, it's thorough and you don't leave there forgetting to answer something, but I don't really like doing that, Oh, thank you, Teresa. Appreciate it. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Canada, Windsor, all right. No, you're welcome. Appreciate you checking things out. Spent a lot of time in Windsor. Oh, Antarctica, that'd be cool. Is that where you're really at, Antarctica? What are you at, a weather station? Hey, Joel. Joel, how you doing? Oh, glad you like it, Jackie. Yeah, that's what I think too, sports speak. It's just not my bag. Hey, Frederick, how you doing? Yeah, they speak Pennsylvania Dutch is one way. I forgot to ask him that, to tell you the truth. I'll get to that next time. Believe me, I had a lot more questions. I just, he had to get out of there. Ricky Daddy Bobby, I don't know. I hope to see him when I'm down there. Raz texted me. Remember Raz? Wanting to know how things were going. Wants to get together when I'm in Detroit again. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Yep, so far so good. Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? Taking the girls up from Detroit and interviewing them and having a lunch with the Amish. I think it would be. I think it'd be just fun to watch the look on their faces. Oh, okay, Keisha. Yeah, you too. Love Canada. Yeah, I did. Matter of fact, what I'll do is, as you know, I'm going to Detroit this week, and I will do an inventory of what I haven't given out that I've had for a long time, and what I'm going to give out that people sent. I got a whole band full of stuff. It's going to take me forever, but that's okay. People want to send things, that's fine. What I did notice in some of the items is like it looks like they were direct mailed items from Amazon, and as far as I know, there's no notes or anything in those. So if it's shoes and stuff, and that's what it looks like, I'm not really sure who they go to because it comes from Amazon, not from the person that sent it. So I'm going to need a little help with that when I do this video of what I got. The logs weren't his. That was a different place, Joe. That was a different place. His is just a big, like it almost looks like a half-sized Home Depot. That isn't on. Those are two other Amish lumber mills I was at, but neither one of those are owned by him. They're in the immediate area. Yeah, it would be Dave. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think, Teresa. Yeah, I think the same thing. Hey, Sandra. Yeah, I think that'd be so interesting to see how they reacted to being around that environment. I'll bet you money that some of those women have never been around the Amish. You know, Esperanza Base, Antarctica. What is that? Is that a weather station or something, or a? It's not a military base. It can't be. You have to check that out. That's interesting. Well, you have good internet signal. So I think I got my camera down pretty well. Oh yeah, he's at the weather base. Hey, send me some pictures of there if you could. You know, believe it or not, it's the same temperature there as it is here, 32. Oh, good, Betsy. Glad you liked it. Yeah, he's an interesting guy to talk to. I had a good time. No, I don't think they would. That's why I kind of softened him up. As you can uh, see in the video, I was curious that he even knew of these things. He wanted me to explain like how the video gets uploaded, that kind of thing. As it turns out, and this wasn't part of the interview, but I talked to him afterward, and somebody comes in and sends emails and receives emails, but it's not him. They pay somebody to do that. So there were things that were around the office that looked like you would assume that he used. It was his office, but those are paid positions on non-Amish people that come in and take care of it for him. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting as well. Oh, warm, yeah, warm in Antarctica too, 32. Oh, I believe it, Gabby. You know, it's funny, the market they built, this new farmer's creamery and this farm kitchen, was a little disappointing. It's just killer looking building from the outside. But for starters, it looks closed. And secondly, it's just they're utilizing maybe 25% of the space. They just don't really get the design. I mean, you go in there and it looks like the first day of moving things in, and then, a year from now it'll be filled. Just kind of weird. Yeah, Matthew, yeah, real mild here as well. I was just looking at the 10 days for West Branch, and about the same, although I'll be heading to Detroit. No, it's 32 degrees in Antarctica. Same temperature it is here in West Branch, Michigan. Boy, I lost that bet in a bar. It's actually going to be about the same all week here. Yeah, I forgot about those Amish. What town are they in over there, Betsy? I forget. I do show my face. No, he sells tons of wood, tons of it. Oh, good. Glad you like it, Michelle. That's good. Yeah, no, it's pretty. I think it's pretty good for. I think it's pretty good temperature for this time of the year. Are you saying it's 20 below in Antarctica? Is that what you're saying? What's your temperature in Antarctica right now? Yeah, boy, that's something. A text for uplifting. You said it was 20 below earlier, and now you're saying it's 28. Which is it? Yeah, this guy's full of it. Yeah, he's full of it. Yeah, no, the Amish are really into solar, big time. No, he's a phony. Dummy didn't even have enough sense to look on the Weather Channel first. Hey, text, you know what that means, don't you? Yeah, good. Yeah, I went down. You must know text then, don't you? Text, you know what this means, don't you, for you? Yeah, he's gotten awful quiet, hasn't he? Welcome to the internet. Oh, you like that Amish stuff, huh? I don't know about that, Angel. But thank you. Yeah, I'm going to take a rocket ship there. Yeah. He knows he got nailed and well, hey, Dirt Turd, how you doing? Yeah, I just put two of them up a little earlier, man. Let's rock and roll. This must be a brother of his. This is other ID. No, that happened down in Gladwin, actually, Ash. They nailed some Amish down there for poaching deer. I remember that. Yeah, and there we go. -3 degrees centigrade. All right. Now we're talking. I think we should, Gammy. We'll wait till it gets warmer. We'll let text make up another temperature and sucker us all into going down there. No, I don't get it either, Vanilla. Especially over something stupid like that. I can't figure it out. Take care, Matt. Copish, Music, Bear Lake. Okay. I was a little surprised how much the buggies cost, and I was even more surprised on the top end for a horse. Oh, I know, but now, yeah, it's loaded in the internet. You'll probably go out catfishing someplace now. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'll be down in Detroit this week. I may spend a day or two in Flint before I go to Detroit. Hang around there. Flint is halfway for me to Detroit. I might go straight to Detroit. I bought my neighbor kid some Amish brownies with marshmallows in them. And when I went and gave them to her, she said that the kids are in Disneyland with their dad. Yeah, I just found that out about a year ago, Joe. Yep, they're all retired trotters. No, yeah, those horses are cool. I heard his son talking to a customer saying that they never let those horses break protocol. Evidently, there's a way that they approach a stop sign and they never break it, even if there's no traffic. They always stop, even if it's clear both ways. He said those horses pick up bad habits very quickly. Oh, no kidding, Shogun, huh? Oh, glad you liked it, Zach. Yeah, I wasn't going to do that today, and then it didn't get it. You know, the weather was iffy, so I'm glad I made it out there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your. I don't watch your videos. I'll see them when I'm down there. I don't know how to feel about that. You know, I just guess I try and ignore it. I wish the best for them. Oh, thank you, Captain Kid. Yeah, I checked into a podcast. Wasn't for me. That's like too legitimate of a production. And a radio show thing. I should check into that. I would like to do something like that. You know, as long as it revolved around, kind of what I do, get people on, have girls call in, that kind of thing. It would be fun. It's unfortunate that we can't all talk rather than you guys have to type away. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Ashley, you ought to hear my high notes when my computer's not working. Opera. Daisy knows when I start whispering under my breath, it's time to head to the bed. Hey, Sue. I think I got that court hearing Friday morning. I got all my stuff for that. Most of my stuff. One thing that I want to get is I applied through the Freedom of Information Act for the protocol on instruction state troopers get during the school they go to. Because I got an idea obstructed views subjective, which isn't how most laws go. In other words, I mean, is it 10% of what he thinks the view is? First of all, he was never in my vehicle. Secondly, he can't tell what I can see and what I can't. And I'm prepared to demonstrate that with photos and video. He didn't know what he was talking about. It was a bullshit traffic stop. But I want to see what they teach these people and what they test them on. Because I got an idea that obstructed view, the state troopers that I've talked to since I've got the ticket, said that it's a catch-all. The guy's weaving around. All of a sudden, you get up there, his dog's on his lap. They let him go for a careless driving or reckless driving, and they give him a ticket for obstructed view. Where you have, a bunch of clothes on the dash, you can't see out the window. Nobody just pulls someone over out of nowhere and gives them a ticket for a dog on their lap when he obviously didn't see any obstruction. So I think I'm going to kick his ass, no problem. We'll find out. 9:30 Friday. Yeah, I wish we could all chat on the channel as well, Samantha. It was a bullshit traffic stop. I was in a right lane doing 60 miles an hour. I don't know what this guy's problem is. Nah, but those days have not shown. That's not the slam dunk it used to be. The judge can schedule another court date, no problem. I bet he will show. That's overtime for these guys. And he was working day shift when he nailed me, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Oh, thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. I should be able to make him look really bad. I just don't see how he can answer his way out of these questions. I've tried and done a bunch of lawsuits on my own in my lifetime. It just pissed me off because I don't think I should have been pulled over. I've been doing the same exact thing my whole life, and one time I get pulled over for it, and it's by this guy. And he actually didn't tell me what I was going to get the ticket for. He said, you had a dog on your lap. And I knew they proposed legislation in 2017. Well, after I got the ticket and went back to my hotel room, I looked it up. That never passed. It never even went for a vote. So and then I looked at the bottom and I looked up the code, and it's obstructed view, which is total nonsense. Pissed me off. Yeah, see, Sue, that's why I wanted to clear that up. People think that because they have services in their house once in a while, they don't pay tax. Bunch of bullshit. We finally got the truth today. I'm going to be down there this week, Dave. I'm not really sure when. Yeah, no, I've heard of it. I've heard of people getting them for like big felt die actually is how you pronounce it, hanging off a rear view mirror. It's usually harassment by a cop ticket. Hey, Lana, how you doing? Hey, Michael, how's it going? Yeah, dude, nobody's ever said a word to me my whole life. I mean, there are probably times when they should have. Now, that once in a while, what'll happen if it's super busy? I'll give you an example. Like, let's say rush hour, and I'm down at Clark and 4th Street, and I want to get on 75. Well, you got to get on 96 right away to head over to 94. It's a bitch. And if there's a ton of traffic, I'll get Daisy and I'll pick her up and I'll set her on the passenger seat. She knows when I do that to stay there. And then I got to haul ass and cut across from the right to the left. Most of the time, I'll let her stay there. It's not blocking anything. I've got photographs, video, everything. It's an Astro van. It's a huge passenger window, a huge mirror, and a huge windshield. I'm going to win. You heard it here. It's not till Friday. I'm going to teach this guy a lesson. My problem is just being calm because I shouldn't have been pulled over. I mean, I shouldn't have to be arguing any of this stuff. Look, I know when I deserve a ticket, and that was in one of the days. So, I go right into try and making him look like a dumbass mode rather than just stick to the law, which is my weak spot, and I'm going to have to control it. Now, on a day like today, I will on a day like Friday, I will not drink a coffee in the morning. What are you asking me, Ash? No, it's not. No, it's just a bullshit ticket. It really is. Yeah. No, I definitely can get pissed. Hey, Barbara, how you doing? Honestly, though, I mean, they were warning me about this as a kid. I've never had my temper get me in trouble. Not one time. 2003. Yeah, I think they made them up till 2005. Sounds like you need to do a little research, Carrie. I wish they still made them. I keep looking for another one if I could find it. I'll end up getting one of those Toyota all-wheel drive Siennas, which is a totally overpriced van. But I don't like any of the other vans. If I drink like a big old coffee in the morning, I can get pretty aggressive. If I drink 2 of them, watch the hell out. Oh, thank you, Don. Yeah, 2005, that's what I thought. Yeah. I love my Astro van. I got 2 guys unstuck today when I went down and did that short video clip of the Osabo. 2 guys were stuck. I pushed both of them out. Hey, TVs, how you doing? Oh, glad you liked it, Tweety. Yeah, he's an interesting guy, good guy. Do you have any Amish out there, Tweety? Yeah, basically, Safari's the same van. Oh, really? Yeah. If I drink too much, it'll get me. Yeah, no, you're right, Sue. Plus, you can get that adrenal fatigue. I think I've had that a couple of times. Yeah, I wonder why they never headed west. You know, I used to collect antique marbles. I mean, big time. Sounds crazy, but I mean, it was a fun, interesting hobby. I still get calls from people. And there was a guy out there in Washington that owned a mint farm, and they had the contract with Spearmint for gum. Pretty interesting guy. I don't know if you've ever had straight, non-watered down Spearmint, but that will burn your skin if you put it on there, a drop of it. Super concentrated. They sell it on Amazon like it's not watered down, but I'll tell you, I've lost all confidence in Amazon. I don't believe anything I read on there anymore. And anything they recommend, it's almost a guarantee I'll never order it. So Daisy's doing fine. Hey, Mamie, how you doing? Mamie, what's the temperature there? This is my litmus test. Oh, okay, Samantha, thanks. Yeah, I've quit it before. I think it's more of a habit of doing something in the morning, start my day. You know? Oh, okay, method. Okay. Yeah, I had some, I had a pretty good collection. I sold them all. I sold them all. I collected handmaids and machine maids. Mamie's in Fairbanks, I think, aren't you? Mamie? Or maybe Anchorage. Yeah, marbles are interesting. That market, just like all antiques, is pretty much died out. Yeah, that's what I do, kind of a ritual. Oh, well, Phil, okay. You ever run into old, what's her face? What the hell's her name? One that was the governor, Palin. You ever run into her there? I guess she's getting divorced. Oh, I drink decaf. Yeah, I don't like decaf. I think it has a different taste, unrelated to the caffeine. Oh, even after divorce, huh? Wow. Boy, this one outfit keeps hassling him over a bunch of nude pictures they have of him and his girlfriend. They are absolutely driving him nuts over this. Oh, cool, Ash. Oh, do you, Tweety? Okay, so Tweety likes that caffeine buzz. Yeah, oh, Woody. Yeah, those are cool. No, I think they're cool. I know a marble collector, actually. He worked for the U.S. Fish and Game that lived in Kansas City that had a Woody that was like he bought it new and just kept it up. Oh, Pittsburgh. All right. You know, I missed that question on Jeopardy the other night. I never realized where that 3 Mile Island was. Got it wrong. There's been some really low scores on Jeopardy lately. Oh, your dad knew her? No, okay. You believe that local honey stuff, Betsy? I'm gonna get you a Ouija board. You know, I decided against the indoor beehive because I figured out that these guys, like a lot of beekeepers that I know, are total chronic liars. They're selling these hives to people acting like the bees are going to put it in their bedroom and just fly in and out. Nah, no way. First of all, they're not big enough. And secondly, the bee doesn't know when it's inside a house, even if you don't have it heated, that it's not okay to fly outside. And once they do, it's lights out. Even if you had the room down to the 40s, and then he heads outside, he's not making it back to that hive. So I'm not going to do it because I figured I was suspicious about it. And then I really did a lot of extra research on ratings and people that had them and entomologists that knew what the consequences are. And I thought, screw it. I'd love to have one, but I'm not going to do that, even though they're insects. Now I'm looking at building a big custom ant farm. I looked into leeches before. I don't like the idea of killing the leeches after they've done their job. Night crawlers, they use those for fishing. Praying mantises is kind of cool. I like bumblebees, but I wouldn't have the proper environment. As I said before, a guy not far from here got killed by bumblebees a few years ago. 34, that's not bad. I'm going to head to Detroit this week. Yeah, I'll be down there 3 or 4 days. 35, boy, can't beat that. It's right 33 here right now. Oh yeah, beekeepers are a bunch of BSers. They've really done a great job at marketing themselves like stewards to Mother Nature, but nothing could be further than the truth. They do everything wrong. One guess I have that the bees are disappearing, it's because you've let beekeepers raise them. It's one big, huge problem. And for a lot of reasons. I don't think they're good guys. Half of them don't know what they're doing. They just do what they were taught. Yeah, they do. I don't like those Chinese acrylic ant farms with that colored tunnels and stuff. No thanks. Oh, 46. All right. Oh, hey, Tara. How you doing? Yeah, bugs are high in protein. Yeah. I don't want to raise stuff that, I'm going to end up killing. I mean, I do eat meat and fish and stuff, which I'm not bragging about. Well, actually, honeycomb, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to do you any good. I mean, you can bullshit these people into thinking anything's fresh and better for you, and they'll take it hook, line, and sinker. The public is so gullible. But let me tell you, it takes a lot of work for a bee to make some comb. Shit tons. And usually the comb, with a lot of places, is a result of people robbing the bees. That honey in that comb is for the bees. Now, a beekeeper will tell you they produce excess honey. That's a bunch of bullshit. You can email me, Texarkana, at Tom Reed, TOMREED, 1956 at gmail.com. It's the same bullshit stories I hear about royal jelly and honey and your allergies. I've had people tell me their breasts got bigger eating honey. It's a bunch of bullshit. Don't believe it. Yeah, eating goldfish and drinking wine. I've turned Walmart into having goldfish and not taking care of them twice. Okay, Barbara. Mostly drive around and see what happens. Hey, Flat Earth, how you doing? I don't really, I like that. I'm a guy that's always winging things. Yeah, I know the feeling, Erica. Yeah, honeycomb's fun, but it's no great, it's not going to hurt you. It's not bad. It's not good. These people feel they're closer to nature. But let me tell you, if you read up on the amount of effort it takes for honeybees to make honeycomb, and you may not eat it because usually there's some shitty story connected with why it's available. There's some clown down in Clarkston that sells complete frames of honey in the comb. I just want to go up and give him a chokehold until he passes out. And it's $50 a frame. I mean, if it was $500 a frame, it's not worth it. It's just like not cool to do that. Bees use the honey to eat, for them, to survive the winter, for their brood. And let me tell you another thing. Honeybees haven't been around in the United States. They're not indigenous. They shouldn't be here to begin with. They were imported from Italy. And the only time you need bees is when you're trying to pollinate large commercial farmland. You don't need bees to pollinate typical flowers. There's all sorts of things pollinate. The wind, bugs, you name it. Bees are for when capitalism gets involved. That's the only reason why they're doing this great marketing campaign on the bees dying, because it's hitting them in the pocketbook. The goldfish crackers. Oh, well, they're hard. Every time I get a bag of those, I eat every one of them. So yeah, that's my beekeeping story. If you're going to do beekeeping, just have bees, watch them, have fun. Get a top bar hive, a warre, W-A-R-R-E, and just let the things fly around and have fun. Maybe go in there and bust off 3 ounces of comb during the middle of the summer. It's no big deal. That's fun and healthy, and you get a chance to taste it, and the bees will be having a good time. Hey Beth, how you doing? Roundup doesn't help, but part of the reason they're dying is a weak gene pool. You've got people that are taking truckloads of bees and pollinating blueberries on the East Coast, and then driving the bees on the back of a flatbed open truck all the way out to California to pollinate almonds. It weakens them. There's a bunch of dirtbags that raise bees and do that to them up in Traverse City. They think because it's insects, you can just do whatever you want with them. Well, I don't think that. I don't agree with that. That would be like, these crazy idiots in Florida that think turtle eggs are aphrodisiacs, and they dig them up and steal them. I mean, you have to be a complete moron to do something like that. No, not at all. I've had bees for a long time. I love bees. I like watching them, breeding them. I let full colonies go all the time. Queen, worker bees, take them out and let them go. Ant farms, I like watching ants. Nah, the time lapse, nah, I don't think so. I mean, I could do a time. My time lapse is mainly for traffic in and out of Detroit, the start of the busy airport day in Detroit. Clouds, I love clouds, stores coming in, lightning, that kind of thing. Am I under a bridge? No. All right, Mark, take care. Dreamy airplanes, helicopters, BK-117s. Yeah. No, Craig, not really. I'll tell you what most beekeepers do. Now, you can say, well, I don't know most beekeepers. How about beekeepers that I've crossed paths with? You got to have, the winters have been iffy. There's nothing worse than like hot days in like January and February, then cool down. Because once those bees get damp and it sweats on the inside of the hive, first of all, a hive's super drafty. So you're always battling keeping the colony on the hive. You're trying to requeen it because the queen didn't make it or they swarmed or something like that. Once you get a hive that's doing pretty well, it takes a long time to get honey where there's enough for them. I don't know if you know this or not, but what beekeepers do is they steal all the honey and they replace the honey with high fructose corn syrup. That's what they give the bees. So what a guy will do is he'll have a couple hives of bees, and he'll have an observation hive. So he'll take one of the frames out and put it in this observation hive and close it. He'll go to the farmer's market, and everybody's watching the bees, and the kids got their face pressed up against the glass looking for the queen, and everybody's happy, and he's selling honey. But the honey he's selling is from a 55-gallon drum he bought, which would take like a gazillion bees to have. And he fills up these jars with that, and he doesn't tell you that it's not his honey. Because unless you got a shit ton of hives, you're not going to have that kind of honey to sell around that much. Most of these guys buy honey from somebody, a big 55-gallon drum. It lasts in the whole season, and then they get to play the beekeeper. But there are a few guys that you will get their bees honey. But honey's honey. This notion that you get honey near where you live and your allergies, a bunch of bullshit. I read these crazy, nutty, kooky stories all the time. People eat royal jelly. You know why? Because royal jelly is what's fed to the queen. It's fed to the queen only. These kooks think because they get royal jelly, then it's going to do the same thing to a human, a mammal, as opposed to an insect. Just nuts. Now, honey is good for one thing, and that is you can put it on a cut. But let me tell you why. I got in an argument with a veterinarian about this. The bacteria remains dormant in honey. and it also absorbs moisture. It doesn't dry out. So you got two things going for it. But 3% of honey has hydrogen peroxide in it. Now there is one issue where a baby can get sick by a once in a million year spore that somehow stays alive, which is why they caution giving honey to babies. And it's also why most of it's pasteurized. So I don't believe it. Yeah, they do tweeting. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They've been doing that for years. They sell organic and it's not organic and you name it. Nah, bees, well, I think it's neonicotinoids, a lot of reasons. Temperature, things like Roundup. Although, to be honest with you, whenever ever saw bees flying around Roundup, they got the hell out of there. Bees aren't stupid. It's not like they're sitting there trying to, nobody's generally spraying Roundup on flowering, pollinating flowers. They're keeping them. Those are the ones they want. And no dumbass bee is going to fly on a weed and walk around it for 10 minutes before he notices a flower. So although I think that may be a factor, bees aren't, they're experts at smelling. And it's not like where you see somebody that used Roundup around their house and then there's dead bees laying all over. You don't see that either. It's bees that take off and they never see them again. And a lot of things eat bees, toads, birds. I mean, I think it's, they do necropsies on them. They can't come up with any additional information. I mean, hard to say. I do think pesticides are probably part of the culprit. They blame the monarch butterfly on a lack of milkweed. Yeah, organic stuff's mostly. There are two things, though, that I try to get that are organic. And that's because I researched it and I talked to farmers, and that's strawberries and black beans. You ever watch a spray on strawberries, which will be eaten in no time by insects? But black beans as well, that soaks up that pesticide like it's a dry sponge. And I just can't believe that you can wash all that out of there when you're rinsing them before you eat them for dinner. 21 days for the worker. You can get 2 years out of a queen. The drones, they get booted out to freeze to death in the winter, the males. For all you women out there, the females totally dominate the beginning to end of a beehive. I think just black beans and strawberries. Other than that, I wouldn't say it's a scam. I just think it's another thing they've sold the public. Look, people are living longer now than they ever have. And it's not because of organic things. I mean, that's been recently popular, organic beef. And I mean, I do admit that I do buy the non-steroid injected chickens. I don't know why I do. I mean, if it's twice as much, forget it. If it's 10% more, I'll just go with it. I have read some stories on chickens and turkeys and stuff like that, and the steroids they use. I don't know. It's the same with beef cattle, Oh, thanks, Indy May. I've read quite a bit of literature on beef. Believe it or not, a lot has to do with how they're finished off, what they're eating. And the number one thing that makes any commercial product like beef cattle taste bad, pork, any of that, stress. Stress will make that meat taste funny. It's very noticeable. So, I got mixed feelings on that. I eat meat. I don't know. I'm not bragging. I'm not proud of that, but I've went the veggie route before, and I just can't handle it. Yeah, no, they don't live long enough. Oh, you do buy organic everything? Yeah, it tastes a lot different too. You're right. They sell that buffalo. I don't know if you've ever had a lot less fat content. Well, Roundup, those are genetically engineered seeds now. They're not actually spraying it on it like they used to. You say it's really bad for you, but I haven't seen any studies. Oh, beef cattle? Okay. All right, Betsy, take care. 105. No, I had a grandfather too. Smoked Italian cigars, fried everything. Lived 10 days short of 100. My dad was an alcoholic and a smoker. He lived till 90 something. My mom died at 62. That was a pulmonary embolism. But this natural stuff, I don't really buy that either. If you read studies, all these people that are natural and want everything natural, they're the ones that are dying before everybody else that goes and sees a medical doctor. If I'm sick, I'm going to get a prescription. And you know what? I'm going to live longer than the guy that has pneumonia that didn't get it. The facts are there. People are going to say, big pharma is killing us. I'm not saying big pharma is innocent. But by and large, if I'm sick, I want to go to a hospital. If I get an operation, I want a medical doctor doing it. I'm comfortable with it. Yeah, there's mistakes. Things happen. It's not perfect. But overall, and the data suggests this, people live longer now than they ever have and with less problems than they ever had. Cancer is, the cure rate's higher than it's ever been. So, people die, things happen, you get illness, you're not going to live forever. Huge genetic components, but I'm going to stick with the pills. I'm not saying you need to take them needlessly or take ones that are iffy, but I don't, that natural stuff, no thanks. Even these Amish, they may put a hot washcloth on their forehead and a cup of tea when they're sick, but I'm telling you, when that temperature gets up around 104 and they're not getting any better, I'll tell you where they're going. They're going to the emergency room just like everybody else. Natural is great up until a point. And you can eat all sorts of stuff that's absolutely terrible for you that's natural. Olive oil, super high in fat. Well, big pharma, not really. I mean, they manufacture the drugs, but it was the demand from the federal government. Research that, Jim. The federal government claimed that the medical community wasn't addressing pain significantly back in around the early 90s. They were lobbied, and the federal government went to the physicians and said, hey, you're doing a shitty job with pain. There were too many lawsuits where pain and suffering awards were through $3-4 million. So they responded, they treated pain. I don't know that I'd blame them. I think they found out how much money was in it, but the big pharma isn't the one that was handing the pills to the patients. It was the medical doctors. Hell, have you ever had pain? Everybody, Rush Limbaugh, Brett Favre. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be pain-free. Now, there are consequences, but there's plenty of people that go on opioids, take them until the pain goes away and quit. Not everybody turns into a full-blown drug addict and buys heroin. Hey, Chris. Yeah, people used to die from the flu. That's exactly it. And pneumonia. Yeah, I thought they could have done a better job with regard to, giving people a plan B, that they cut off opioids. I'd agree with that. Yeah, chronic pain that is terrible. There's a lot of interesting, look up that doctor at University of Michigan. He's a world-renowned pain doctor. Is Daniel Claw or something like that? Hang on, let me look. He has a YouTube lecture too. I mean, there are ways to alleviate it. They say the worst kind of pain you can ever have is bone pain. I think his name's Daniel. I always want to say Claw, but it's something like that. Pain expert. Hang on. Yeah, Daniel Claw. Clauw. Dr. Daniel Claw. He's a world-renowned pain expert in Florida. He's big into the marijuana for pain. They canned him for that at University of Michigan because, here you got a teaching hospital, and the American Medical Association certainly doesn't support it. Here he is, an MD teaching, but they can't do shit because he's tenured. That's true, Vinal. Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, look at all the people on booze. You don't hear them bitching about Budweiser and Coors. Why are they always blaming it on the people that made it? I mean, there's a medicinal use for pain pills. Man, if I had pain, I'd sure take them. Tell you that. You know. Well, it's better than it used to be, Craig. They can't even go out to lunch with those guys anymore. And it all has to be a disclaimer whenever you treat someplace if there's any kind of relationship. And what about the drugs that do people good? How come nobody ever talks about those? Anybody ever want to talk about insulin or Humira? Any of these drugs that help people with autoimmune diseases? It's always the 3% of the bad ones. Look at the line for uh, pharmaceuticals at any drugstore. And most of the people are glad those drugs are available. They make them live longer. But, opioids is the dominant thing that people bring up all the time. Well, that pain pill, they're not handing them out like they used to. Now they have pill counts. They'll call you in there at 12 o'clock on a Tuesday, and you better come in there and you better have the right amount of pills left or you're cut off. Oh, well, Butrin? Lamotrigine, yeah. I know people that have had success with that. Well, chronic pain is a problem worldwide. Oh, Humira, did you try Enbrel at all? What do you have, rheumatoid arthritis or lupus? The same with Enbrel. You don't hear anybody knocking big pharma for that. That's kept people from losing use of their joints. Yeah, they're getting tight on those benzodiazepines now. It's hard to get lorazepam and clonazepam now. Now, to an addictive personality, they're very addictive. I've taken them before. I didn't like to me. With me, they had too long of a half life. Yeah, Joe, I think that happens sometimes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that party's over in Florida. Yeah. I can remember if you ever drove down to Florida before they did the crackdown on these pain pills, you stayed at one of the hotels or motels down on 75. If you ever got out in the night to go to the bathroom or get something to eat or whatever, look out the window, you'd always see some old jalopy driving around the buildings. That was some guy probably making a deal with a quadriplegic that got all the pain pills he needed, that was supplementing his income with selling them to guys like that take them on to Georgia and Florida and wherever else you were. It's a big business. Oh, do they deck out? Interesting. Oh, good on you, man. I'm sorry for that pain. Yeah, Daisy's keeping an eye on things. Yeah, pain clinic. Boy, they really cracked down on those in Detroit. Dieted everybody. But I took those pain pills before. I never felt like getting addicted. I mean, it never seemed like I was getting addicted. I never thought, God, I gotta watch this. But why isn't everybody on cigarette and alcohol manufacturing companies is all the bad they've done, creating this big problem? Why are they just knocking big pharma? Go after Coors Light. Go after a Marlboro. Hey, Ann. Yeah, they would deck down. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Good looking honky. Good for you. Yeah, it's true, Jim, isn't it? I mean, why not? You know, that's one thing with the regulation of, illicit drugs. The government's done such a shitty job at regulating anything. Why would you want to give them one more thing to screw up? Take some honey. Go get honey by your local beekeeper and try that. And get you a Ouija board. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Yeah, pain management. You got to do something. I mean, I think pain's legit. People have it. Yeah, heroin suppliers too. Yep. Oh, okay, decked out. Yeah. Hopefully you get good weather. You probably will. I mean, but if you had chronic pain, I can see why somebody would, do whatever you had to get it to go away. No, I know that, but that's a different argument, the tax revenue. I get that, but why isn't anybody blaming that for ruining people's lives like they do opioids? And don't think they don't tax the hell out of anything they can. Yeah, Ouija board, man. Just push that thing over wherever you want it. Yeah, pain is legit, but it's a gate. Pain is there's a lot of theories on pain, and it's not, your pain might not be the same as mine. It's got a lot to do with brain interpretation and signals and receptors, blah blah blah. Yeah, evidently this Claw, this Daniel Claw, he has a YouTube video. I'll watch that. He's all for pain. Yeah, no, that's because the feds are on him, John's mom. That's why they're on your ass full time. No, it's no joke. They've got a lot of good surgeries for that now, though, Beth. It's come a long way, back surgery. I was watching a neurosurgeon do some surgery on YouTube the other night, and they were in there, and this was a tumor that had been inside the spinal column, stenosis. And it was interesting. I always wondered how they kept from severing nerves accidentally. Well, the way they do it is they poke around there with this like little electronic prod to see if they get a reaction from the tissue. And they make sure any place that they're thinking of removing, they don't do it until they run this probe around, which is kind of cool, really. You're probably right, Sue. I think you're probably right. But heroin's been around forever. They had huge heroin epidemics in the United States in 1895 and 1920. Huge. There was people now that will tell you there was more heroin on Michigan Avenue in the 70s than there is now. I mean, things have, believe it or not, gotten better in some ways. Yeah, that's a big scam. You better believe there is, and shit. All you do is tell people what they want to hear for a whole day. Fortune telling. I think that's a bunch of bullshit too. Tarot cards, Ouija boards. Well, they don't want to get tagged with, someone being on a pain medication then falling over or something like that. They just don't want to roll the dice. I'm sure there are doctors that know she needs it, but they don't have a long enough relationship with her to feel comfortable prescribing it. And there's some guys that just are not going to do it. They're not taking any chances. Yeah, but Jim, there's plenty of people that take Oxycontin that don't take heroin. So now what? I don't know if he was or not. Yeah, 1895. Yeah, you can Google all this and read about it. Yeah, I didn't know. Was James Taylor a heroin addict? Yeah, but there's if it all depends on I don't think they get a lot of help. These people that come on think that these people are just making a bad choice. It's complex. Oh, wow, 1968. Dilaudid, that's what they should use for cancer pain, for bone pain. Even Dilaudid won't work for bone pain. Oh, I believe it in. Yeah, I don't believe it. Oh, these people that are always finding a face of Jesus in a cloud or a cookie that fell on the floor and broke or just some bizarre nonsense. I prefer to go with facts and studies. It's not 100%, but I'll go with that over a wing and a prayer any day. Costco, there you go. LSD, as far as I can tell from what I've read, doesn't hurt you. They're now starting to give that to a similar drug for depression and rape victims and all sorts of things. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think it's like the way that, I'll never know, right? But, it's just hard to believe all this stuff, worked out this way. I'm not so convinced on the Jesus story. And if you don't believe in that, you're going to hell. But yeah, there's something. I don't just think it's like the way it's sold to us. I'll probably go to my grave not knowing. Yeah, if that Jesus story is right, I'm in big trouble. Yeah, no, you're right, Joe. Yeah. Yeah, White Rabbit. We talked about this the other night. Is Grace Stick still alive or she died? She's got to be, what, 110 now? Oh, I think that's true, Jen's mom. Yeah, I think that's true. They experimented with him too over near that Roswell, doing weird shit, radiation, that kind of thing. I think so too, Dirt. Yeah, I would. I'd do anything to get out of pain. Oh, she's 80, still alive. Unbelievable. Wow. Who is still alive? It looks pretty good. I couldn't believe it last night. You know how you get these suggestions? Thank God you do, or I wouldn't even have a channel. BJ Thomas. He sure seems like a hell of a nice guy. Could be a big act. I used to think that about Yanni too until he choked his wife until she passed out. So you really never know people. Wow, 80. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't believe it. I bet you could eat a whole trunk full of wild lettuce seeds. It's good for pain, like if you just knocked your elbow going into the bathroom to brush your teeth. It'd be one of these pains, like maybe it was going away anyway, but you took these wild lettuce weeds too, and it seemed to go away faster. These people are nuts. I'm gonna go with the Oxycontin. Yeah, sorry. I don't think so, Brandon. It takes a functioning brain to communicate and to run organs. And when that brain quits working, I think it's lights out. There's nothing. Yeah, I like Stevie Nicks. She was a big druggie for a while, some kind of pills. Yeah, yep. He's the guy, yep. He's 77, living down in Florida somewhere. I'll tell you, that coke's a cumulative. You look at I think that's Kirk Gibson's problem. It finished off Bud Probert, the hockey player. It's got a lot of people. Using cocaine has a cumulative effect on neurons and your cardiovascular system. And I'll bet you money that has something to do with Linda Ronstadt. I never watched that movie, Denise. Yeah, but I'm telling you, you take an Oxycontin, that's no mindset. I know what works and what doesn't. You can blindfold me, whatever. Yeah, that's a good question, Jim. Yeah, but she had a relationship with Lindsay, so I would say all bets are off, you know? I think that's right, Jen's mom. I would believe that. Yeah, they're not going to tell you that, but I would believe that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, who knows? We'll find out in the end. I mean, what I do know is that no one's ever got back with us, and that's pretty good study on my end. Huh. Yeah, some of these. Look at the people these religious guys get to follow. I mean, it's crazy. Oh, didn't they? I don't understand that either, Zio. I don't really know. It almost seems like a regional problem. Oh, hey, Pablo. How you doing? Yeah, I don't believe the cat thing. They seem to weasel their way out of death, though, in a lot of unique ways. Huh. I think she lives out in Phoenix. Yeah, no kidding. Deathbed of repentance. You still got one shot. That's another thing. If Christianity is real, deathbed repentance doesn't make a bit of sense. See, I pinned that Amish guy down on baby baptism. I figured that's what he'd say. Doesn't make any sense, really. Oh, that's cool, Collins. Yeah. It would, but they gotta want to go, John's mom. You know. Are you talking about baby baptism, Craig? You must be a Catholic. You're right, Joe. Yeah. I mean, if I was in their shoes, it's just such a monumental jump to be where they're at than to get to where people would like to see them be. No, I don't, Ann. I don't. I don't really see any movies that interest me. I would, but I just don't. I'm not around where I even know about them. It seems like I like documentaries, nature movies. I read a lot. I like philosophy, science, and what I like would never sell on the big screen. I don't want to see this blow 'em up bullshit, romance crap. I wonder what Stevie Nicks does with her time now. What does she do? I don't even know what that's about, Matrix. Isn't that some kind of like video game type stuff? Characters. I was just looking at the new Microsoft Flight Simulator. I might get that and fly around. That's possible too. We'll never know. Supernatural horror, right? Okay. Oh, okay, good for you. They shoot up, yeah, yeah. All the ones I know, Jim. Yeah, yeah. I love YouTube, man. I'm watching. I don't watch it much as I used to because I'm doing my own videos. Now, hey, by the way, I'm glad you said that because it triggered a thought, and that is now I'm going. As you guys know, I'm going down to Detroit. Any of you guys got anything you'd like to see me do different? Any change up? Something that interests you while I'm down there? Any thing you want me to do? Now I'm from West Branch, Michigan. Yeah. You guys got anybody you want me to talk to again? I mean, believe me, I'll tell you right now, I talk to anybody in it, everyone. If there's anybody I can interview, I'll do it. I don't care what they do. Waitress, working girl, truck driver. Oh, thank you, Ann. Ypsilanti, God, I've been through there so many times. I wish that Yaya chicken would have stayed in business. I think that's the best chicken I ever had. I still stop off Pearson Road in Flint and get it sometimes. Put on my bulletproof vest. I get a la carte. I don't want that crappy pita bread or those beans. Yeah, I can do a live going around. Part of the reason on the live sometimes I don't want people like when I'm down there, and this sounds crazy, I know. And when I'm down there, I'm actually like looking for like interviews the whole time. And when I don't find some in a couple days, I get kind of irritable. I look, man, from sunrise to sunset. I'm not kidding you. So I'll be driving down around there. I'll be doing a live, and somebody sees me on a live. They want to come up and bullshit for an hour, and I'm kind of like cranky, crotchety. That's because I don't want to be bothered when I'm down there. I know it sounds like I'm a dick, but I just don't. I mean, I'm down there with something in mind, and I don't like being distracted from it. So I hope to see Becky. I hope I do wherever she is. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Becky. When these people are gone for a long time, like Coco, I almost don't want to know. I don't want to hear any bad news about them. I think it's really low, so yeah, I'm gonna go see Maddie. Better believe it. I'll see Kelly too if I can. Yeah. Hey, speaking of Kelly now, I will try and find Kelly. It's not like I'm ignoring her. It seems like I am, but I barely saw Gerald and Maddie last time. Anybody anybody have any questions for Kelly or her daughter or got any ideas on that? I don't have a problem with Kelly. Yeah, I don't want to leave Daisy in the car though, not around her. I'm not worried about Kelly. She ain't gonna do anything to me. No way. They could have, man. I don't know about that. Yeah, I hope she's okay too. Yeah, Coco, that's a big question mark out there. I'll tell you that. Derek, why are you saying that over and over? If you say that another time, I'm going to block you. Actually, I'm going to block you anyway because it's just super immature and disruptive. I think people get on here drunk. No, no, Teresa, not at all. Well, Fridays and Saturdays, the cops are way more active. I've noticed. You know, their busiest time, they've claimed to me, is in the morning when guys are going to work. A couple weeks ago, she came on a chat, and I talked to her mother one time, and that's it. Yeah, dude, the stupid stuff they do. Oh, you like the live thing? Oh, okay. Oh, they don't know Detroit. People get that wrong on Jeopardy all the time. You can get some guy in there that designs rockets for a living. They ask him what country south of Detroit, and they sit there dumbfounded. It nails them all the time. No, Coco's down there. I know that, but that's about it. Yeah, they do go to restaurants. They go out to eat. Yep. I'll ask him that next time, Sue. Yeah, it's probably true. I did. You know, the Amish bakery, actually, the lady I talked to in the new place, she closed her old one down and opened that one. Yeah. Like I said before, though, Jim, I don't think that Amish stuff's that good. I've had it before. A cinnamon bun is 10 times better than anything anybody in the Amish ever made. I don't think it's that good. It looks like it'd be good. I like the story behind it. Some cute young girl or a old lady that's just so innocent, and she got up at 5 and started making this pie. It's not that great. I was thinking today as I was driving home too, I wonder if they use canned fruits and vegetables. I bet you they do. I mean, what's really homemade? You can buy the most kick-ass pie crust in the world now from Gordon's Foods. They get about 100 varieties of it, from the cheap shit to the best stuff made. Why in the hell would you have a rolling pin out fooling with this shit? And I guarantee you, well, I shouldn't guarantee it, but I think it's unlikely that these Amish, they get their fruits and nuts and all that stuff in the same place you do. So what's really homemade? You know, I don't buy it. It's just baked desserts, just like anybody'd make in West Branch or Toledo or anywhere else. Oh, thanks, Ray. Yeah, but have you ever had a bad piece of zucchini bread, Sue? I mean, zucchini bread's good anywhere. So is banana nut bread. I mean, how do you mess it up? But I've tried their cinnamon bread, sucks. Their brownies, not that great. I think it's all canned. I don't think they're picking where. I don't even know where they'd have access to them. And if you went out and tried to buy enough blueberries for your blueberries pie, you couldn't get enough. I mean, something's not adding up here. Gordon's Foods, a giant food wholesaler. They're huge. Yeah, I bet it doesn't depend. I think this is just people want to believe that these are hand-picked berries. I call bullshit on this one. No, I'm not. I don't really like bread that much. To tell you the truth, I've heard that great Harvest Bread. Is that place down there in Fenton? There's some place in Fenton really tearing it up with making bread. Yeah, maybe it's not the. Well, here's the thing. If you ever look at a commercial food vendor, you'd be surprised the different grades of stuff you can get. Chicken wings, as an example. There's about 9 grades of chicken wings. Now, you wouldn't think that's possible. You'd think a chicken wing is a chicken wing. It goes all the way from turkey breast to turkey legs, to filet mignon, to sirloin, to mushrooms, to cheese sticks. There's tons of grades for everything. So I don't think they've cornered the market. I mean, a blueberry pie is a blueberry pie. I get it. Some are better than others. But I guarantee you, I'll go down and get one of those Marie Callender's down at Walmart, and I'll cook that up, brown the top, put the extra sugar on the top, grow my beard long, wear some old jeans, and tie a horse out in front, and you'll think it's the best pie you ever had in your life. You're buying into this bullshit. A good pie is a good pie. You don't need to be Amish to make one. Oh, give me some of the things they'd buy, Teresa. Like what? Oh, you like those too? Yeah, quilts. I agree. They're not big quilts. The Mormons are more into the quilts than the Amish. That's been my experience. Like out in Utah, Salt Lake City. I bought a girlfriend 2 quilts in Salt Lake City about 30 years ago, and they were $500 each then. Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree, Dennis. They're in these catalogs. Just go into Gordon's Foods website. Maybe you can access it without logging in. It's like that with anything. You know, any big, huge commercial food broker, there's A to Z on practically everything. Yeah, there you go, Teresa. Yeah, I believe it. Oh, I know, Judy. I know it. You can't blame them. I was thinking that today as I was talking to the guy. I wonder how long, if I went and moved in with them, how long I would be there until they thought what a bad idea it was. I think I'd go absolutely crazy. Oh, here we go. Alabama, yeah, I believe you're from Alabama, right? Yeah, that's what I think through the experience of it. I'm just saying, I don't think they use any ingredients that everybody else doesn't use. Yeah, you know, I wanted to ask him about that Amish mafia, but I just didn't want to come across as like a crazy clown. I thought of that though while I was talking to him. Oh, same to you, Nick. Same to you. Yeah, I'm glad I talked to him. Yeah, they do a lot of construction up here as well. Yeah. A guy was telling me, another Amish guy I was talking to, that his buddies just went down to Florida to do siding someplace. Nah, that's bullshit, Ann. I don't believe that. That's that TV show crap. Right, Daisy? No. I'm hungry. I don't have anything good to eat. Give me cheese. You still a little hungry, Dave? Huh? You a little hungry, huh? No, thanks, Ann. You know, it's called crazy. Yeah, I love Vermont. I've been up there. Yeah, I went to Ben and Jerry's. Yeah. Oh, Pennsylvania Dutch. Okay. I've been to Lancaster. That's cool. Yeah, Rum Spring. I couldn't think of the name of it when I was talking to him. At least according to this guy, it's a bunch of bullshit how TV portrays it. Yeah, New York's cool. I'm gonna get to New York City this summer. Pennsylvania, Mojo. Ohio. I'd say Ohio. Hey, Stacy, how you doing? Oh, you like him, Cindy? Oh, okay. Glad you like him. Thanks. That's what I think, Ohio. I was surprised he said 500 mile. I thought there would be more than that. Yeah, LaGrange, I've been down there. Oh, no kidding, Joe, huh? Well, that's cool. Hey man, how you doing? Yeah, he gave the prices. He gave the prices of the horses as well. Oh, good man. Glad you liked it. Yeah. You come out here, man. I'm gonna introduce you to him. I want to see if I can give him a heart attack. That a girl. I knew you could do it. Yeah, I thought he was a cool guy, man. Nice guy. Oh, good for you, Stacy. Yeah, coming right up, man. No problem. Hey, and there's a singer down there in a bar all the time, Barry Fish. Barry Fish fan. You ever see him playing down there? Yeah, he's been down there for years. He used to be a house band in Tunica, Mississippi. It's too far north. You can get frost there in the winter. Good night, Stacy. Good night, Craig. Well, then I'm going to sign off myself, you guys. Watch a little TV, brush my teeth. So appreciate you guys having you guys on. I'll be on tomorrow night, actually, probably around 9 o'clock. Try and shoot for. Yeah, thank you, Sue. Hang in there, MLJ. Night, night, Ann. I'm going to go bake some Amish pies. Night, Elaine. Good night, Dawn. See you, Sharon. Bye, Denise. See you, Gail. All right, good night, Christy. Good night, Ian. All right, Mojo. Shipshawana. I'll do it, Mojo. I will. Yours is going to be all whipped cream. See you, Ray. Yours is going to be pure whipped cream. Yeah, homeschooling's great. Yeah, you're welcome. You know, I don't know if you know it is Khan Academy, Khan. A lot of people teach your kids through there. They don't even bother with the homeschooling program. It's all mapped out. Khan Academy, Khan. Check it out. If you're talking about that blinking light, no, that's it's a tool rental place. All right, MLJ, yeah, hang in there. Hope you do all right. Yep, be on tomorrow. Oh, you're getting it in the face, Mojo. Yeah, you are. Want to make it count. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out then. I sure will. I'll get a video of that place when I'm down there. Hey, Pigo, heading out right now, going to bed, but be on tomorrow. Hey, Jack. That's okay, Mojo. All right, Dennis. Thanks, Lana. Yeah, be a one-time deal, Mojo. Yep. The memories last forever. Oh, hey, Pigo, how you doing? I'm signing off right now, but I'm going to be on tomorrow, same time. Hope you got those fires put out over there. Oh, that's cool, Jack. Oh, interesting. Cool. No, I'll see Maddie in a couple days. Okay, good night, everybody.